starting lineup for your world champion Courtside Podcast. The host from Sydney, Australia, Wayne Hunt. Co-hosting from Melbourne, Australia, Vince Germano. And also from Sydney, the second richest man in Australia, Stu Benson.
It's that time again.
Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out!
Welcome to the Courtside Podcast. I'm your host, Wayno, and with me, the People's Champ, Vince.
The champ is here! Was the intro like that? No wonder your hair fell out.
And of course, we're joined by Sydney's second richest man, Stu Benson.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you're tuning in and at whatever time. How are we, gentlemen?
I'm good.
Oh, wonderful.
350, guys. A big milestone for us. Jesus Christ, how have I put up with Vince for this long? Look, tonight's episode brought to you in part by 2K. We should give a big shout out to our contact at 2K, Adrian, who supplied us with some goodies that we'll be giving away. We'll have the details on how you can win the new copy of 2K20. Also,
What? We're giving one away?
giving one away. Vince has been at it. We haven't been able to pull him off. We haven't been able to record because Vince has just been buried in 2K.
Whoa. Let's clarify. What's he been at?
He's been buried in 2K.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Oh, you tell me that Vince has been at it.
A big thank you also to Courtside Faithful, Mr. Behind the Scenes, Brenton Cunningham, for putting his hand up and organising everything with this giveaway. So whoever wins, you can tip your cap to Brenton for that one.
Where is Brenton? Is he missing?
I don't know.
He's probably busy shaving his back for all we know. But he's seen
He's in a coke coma.
A Coke.
No, he's actually given up a Coke.
It's amazing.
And just to clarify, we're talking about Coca-Cola. We're talking about Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Can I tell you a quick story?
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's about Brenton. He's probably going to hate me for this, but what the hell?
Shit. You know we're recording still. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. Cunningham equals ratings. So anyway, I went into my little place of employment a few weeks back. Saw the young girl at the door there, the door greeter. And I said, is Brenton here? And then I saw him. And you know how they wear the earpieces now in retail? So they can just all talk to each other and
not talk to customers? Yeah.
Yeah. That one. Well, Brenton, fair to say, he's put on a bit of put, right? Ooh. I mean, we all have.
I mean, he's got that first kid pudding, right?
Actually, I've lost some wood, so I'm happy. I just noticed his shirt was pretty darn tight.
Oh.
And I said to her, look, could you just say over the PA, you've got to clean Brenton, your shirt's too tight. And she did. And let me tell you, the abuse helicopters he was walking down was not pretty. I mean, there was C-bombs, F-bombs.
How professional.
And I'm tipping that's why sales are down.
Oh, man.
And also, Coke sales are way down. Coca-Cola sales are way down.
It's not buying it by the pallet anymore, so.
That's right. And I think that probably just cost me Brendan's friendship, but hey, it was worth a good story.
We should get back into it. To 2K. 2K20 now, Vince.
Yes.
Look, Stu, not so much the video game man, fair to say?
Not so much. I've been playing a little bit of 19 with my son, and we will get 20, but not as much of a gamer as you two gentlemen, so this is where I'll go quiet and just count my money in the background.
Fair call. So, Vince, we are long-time 2K players.
Yeah, we've been playing for many, many, many years.
I kind of sound like Joey for a little bit there. Look, I have been a little bit disappointed at some of the 2K titles in previous years. In particular, the Spike Lee one, the story mode, because I'm a big My Career mode on 2K. But I have to say they've definitely redeemed themselves over the last few years. 2K19 was excellent. Really enjoyed that. The story mode was fantastic. As I said, my version that I got, my copy didn't work, so I did have to jump over to a mate's house and get some gaming in of the new game. But you have been playing it pretty consistently. Some thoughts, some highlights. What's the go-to for 2K20 this year?
Well, let me just say I have been living on it. I think it's the best 2K for me in a couple of years. I played last year. I enjoyed last year. Mm-hmm. But it didn't grab me like previous titles.
Yeah.
But this one I've put, and this is not just because they've sent us out a few copies. Like, I'll be dead honest. I mean, the game is not perfect, but again, what game is? I mean, I play Battlefield. That is far from perfect. I play a lot of games that aren't perfect, but you got to remember these are video games, and these people work in all fields of video games. People work very hard. But one mode. One thing I do love, I'm a post player, and the post moves are a lot better this year. There's probably one or two that just go, well, geez, how did he make that? But it's more physical. The controls are easier. Visually, the game looks better than last year. It does every year, so that's a given with 2K. It
gets cleaner and cleaner every year.
It does. I remember the first year they brought out the sweating.
Oh, yes.
It's like, it just adds to it, like the visuals and the whole feel of it. But the mode that I really love is My Team. I live on that.
You can't get off that. You cannot get off that mode, can you?
Nah. I love seeing what I'm going to get in a pack. This year, though, as soon as you get into it, you get to pick an evolution card, and you've got like Hakeem, Dirk, you've got what was his name? Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. And I went with Hakeem because I just love Hakeem.
It's the dream.
And
what's not to love?
He is the dream. It reminds me a lot of myself when he plays. Nimble.
Nimble.
But he starts off at like level 88, and you've got to get like, it could be like a level 84, I think, and you've got to get like 100 points, 20 rebounds, 50 blocks to get him up to a level 89, and it cuts off there. But the historic domination, the all-time teams domination, like it's a good grind. Like, you're grinding towards something. You're grinding to try and beat. Like, at the moment, I've played 6 games against a Los Angeles Lakers all-time team. It's got Magic Johnson, Kobe, Jerry West, Shaq, Kareem, Wilt, Baylor. Closest I've got is 35 points.
Wow.
They just tear me a new one. I can't speak highly enough of the fun of the mode. You'll get hours on it, and then after that, you can go online. You don't have to wait. Actually, you can just do it now. But you can go online and play 3-on-3 against people all over the world, which I suck at, but it's fun. It is just so much fun, even more fun than last year, just building your team.
Yeah, I know.
And you're getting rewarded every day. Last year it was a bit of a... you really had to push yourself to finish the grind, but every day, if you log in for 7 days, you get a reward every day, whether it's a pack of cards, 2 tokens, 500 My Team points.
That's heaps better than last.
And at the end of the week, you get to spin a wheel, and you can win a fabulous prize towards your team. I can't speak highly enough of it. The amount of work they've put into My Team, even if you only buy this game to get My Team, to play that is well worth it. Yeah. I can't speak highly enough of it.
It's just funny because there's so many different types of 2K players. Like, we both play 2K and have for years, but we are 2 different 2K players. Like, you are totally engaged in that, but I am more, I like the My GM mode a lot more. And I will play months and months of My GM, which I really loved last year, actually. I thought they did a really good job. But I just noticed even the other day at my mate's place, just the mechanics seem to get better and better every year. The mechanics this year on it, like the ball handle is a lot better. You mentioned that in the paint play, and I just felt like this year they stepped it up with the defense in the paint. Like, you can challenge shots and you can challenge the post moves this year. Like, where I felt like there was maybe a bit of discrepancy last season with it. So, I'm really looking forward to getting my copy and jumping into more My GM and the career mode, man. I'm a sucker for that, I'm a sucker for creating your player and putting yourself through the paces and, getting yourself to the Hall of Fame. So, Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I totally agree on the post-ups. Like, I was playing against the Nets, the all-time Nets, and they had Brook Lopez, and I thought, I'm just going to let it... I switched, because I got Derek Coleman on my team, so I switched to Derek Coleman on the defensive end, because I now have confidence in letting Hakeem just defend, and it really works really well.
You know, look, it's that thing, right, 2K? Just every year, it's the best version yet. And it's no different this year. You know, it's the best version. Like, if you're into your hoops game, like, 2K20 is the one to get this year. You know, like, it's better. You know, in the limited time I played it, I definitely felt the difference between this year and last year's. So, yeah.
Sorry, before you go, yeah, they do. Before you go, I haven't touched my GM yet or season because I probably should because I want to give that a review and I will in future episodes, but my team's just that bloody good. I recommend it.
You love it.
But yeah, those reviews will be coming. I just have not jumped into them yet, so that is something I will be doing in the next coming weeks.
Nice. Sorry, Shu?
No, don't be sorry. I lost count. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. 1,031,000, 1,032,000. All right, I'm back.
You'd think Benson would sponsor the show at least 1 week, wouldn't you?
Well, you know, he's a busy man. It's a hard thing
Got to talk to my diversified portfolio manager. I don't handle my money. I just make it.
What does that even mean?
Actually, you know, speaking of diversified, they got the WNBA. I know, I can't say. Don't kill me. Don't kill me first show back. Come on. Be nice. It's episode 350. Come on now. I was going to say, they got the WNBA players on there as well this year.
Wow. Let me tell you, I forgot to mention that, and then apologies, but I actually started a season with Las Vegas because Liz Cambage is in it.
Yeah,
she's a beast. She's a beast in it. Absolute beast. Dominates, and it is so much fun. You will absolutely love it. It's the gameplay is really good, and it seems a bit quicker. It's so much fun. I kid you not, you will absolutely love it.
Nice.
Dunking, obviously, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't need it. It does not need it. It's so much fun, and you got the actual commentators from the league.
Oh, that's
cool. Nice. It's a nice different change. But in saying that, the commentary is really good in 2K again. Yeah, they rotate it and stuff. And the only guy that really annoys me is Chris Webber. It's just, I don't know, something about that dude when he commentates. But
just Webber being Webber.
I can't speak highly enough of it. I've really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, look, thanks again to 2K for the giveaway for this show. Look, we know how it works. You guys want to know how to win now, and then you're going to skip to the end just so you can hear how you win. So, look, it's going to be mixed in somewhere between now and the end of the show. I'm not telling you where, but we'll give you the details on how you can get your hands on a copy of NBA 2K20 later in the episode. But for now...
Let me just say, if you're a Lakers fan, you've probably got a head start.
Says you.
If you're a Grizzlies fan, forget it. No chance.
Well, look, I'm the only one here, right? So I was
going to say, I don't think the hosts are eligible to win the prize.
Yeah, that's right.
He's the only one we got.
I now award myself. Congratulations, me. No, we should look. It's hard to be it's hard not to be political on this episode just because of everything that's going on right now with China and the NBA and what I like to call the Maury effects because holy, what do you say, Vince? A shitstorm in a teacup?
Do I say that? I don't know if
I feel like you say that. I feel like I've heard you say that.
I don't think I've ever said that.
I feel like you've said it at least 7 times.
No, I've never said it. Not even once.
I feel like you say it once. It does kind of sound like something.
People in stone houses shouldn't throw glasses, so stop.
That's right, because you can't feed horses on the other side of a green bird.
Just the Pope shit in the woods.
Look, I have been trying
Just don't go into the woods with the Pope.
Oi! This took a turn. Welcome to episode 350, guys.
And I can say it because I'm a member of the Roman Catholic Church. So
well, there you go. Sucks to be you. Well, look, it's hard to...
That's what they said.
That's what he said, yeah.
Oi! Is it getting warm in here? I don't know.
That's what he said.
Oh, we're losing listeners by the second.
We are not making 351.
So someone's got to report us to the Vatican.
Look, I need to be a little bit educated. I think, Stu, maybe you've been following this a little bit closer than what I have. But, man, it's just been like all through the NBA news lately, and the aftershock of what's happened is filtering down. Well, basically, the NBA is losing money, significant money. But I just want to know, because I can't find it anywhere, do you know what triggered the statement from Daryl Morey?
I'm not sure why he tweeted it out, but he tweeted something with regards to what was going on, the protests that have been going on now for months.
Yeah.
Because Houston were playing over there, and I think somebody had either tweeted him and he tweeted back, and it sort of grew its own legs. Now, I don't know if what he was saying was divisive or if it was just observational from somebody who is admittedly on the outside looking in, making a comment on what was going on. And then the furor with LeBron stepping in, LeBron didn't willingly step in. He was asked again by reporters at a media conference and made a comment. I think it was extrapolated the wrong way, and it sounded like, the way that it was being reported, that LeBron thought that Daryl Morey was uneducated on the topic of the protests and what was going on over there. And I think all he was actually saying was that we as Americans, or we as outsiders, need to be really careful with what we say if we are uneducated on the topic. I don't think he was calling out Daryl Morey.
Yeah.
He actually came out days afterwards and said that. I think he was just trying to almost give Morey a pass, saying, hang on a second, don't take what this guy said as gospel. We're not exactly completely educated on what's going on. And it feels like he went a shit way about trying to defend Morey. Yeah. He said the wrong thing in doing it, and now it's almost like the media have pitted those two against each other, which is crazy.
It's such a shit predicament because it's like there's no right answer. Like either answer you give, you're going to piss off half that country, right? Like that feels like the reaction to it. Either way, I'm with you though. I didn't feel like LeBron was having jabs at the Houston GM, but I mean, we've definitely seen the effects of it filter through the league. I mean, I know a lot of guys have lost sponsorship deals and stuff like that. Kuzma was on the cusp of getting a deal with, I think, Puma, and then they pulled the deal out from under him. So, I mean, it's definitely...
Jeremy Lin's protesting, not going to play in the league this year. Oh, no, that's not his choice. So.
Zing! Oh, shit. Stu's throwing haymakers, Vince. He did drop a nice 40 though in that his first game. So
I could drop 35 in the
throwing haymakers, Vince. I'm telling you. Look out.
I want to know how Stu's coping, because he's got a couple of multi-million-dollar businesses in China, doesn't he?
Yeah, I sold Samsung. So,
cool.
Yes, I'm totally out. And my shares in the Li Ning shoe company, sold them to Stephon Marbury, so I'm out.
Well, we lost our podcast China market as well, so you're one of those listeners.
We're still in the very lucrative Latvia.
That's
Latvian market.
Oh, even more so now that the Zinger's back. We're right where we left off.
Again, Latvia.com for all your Latvian travelling needs.
I mean, I don't even know if we're going to really feel a big effect. You know, obviously the players are going to feel it. Like those, sourcing deals or those with existing deals, they're going to have companies pull out. And I mean, that's a thing, but...
Look, there's going to be sponsorships lost. There's going to be bridges that are going to need to be mended. In time, they will. At the end of the day, it's all business, and it goes both ways. It's a product. I mean, the jerseys, the shoes, and everything like that. As we spoke about off air earlier, Wayne. I mean, you've got you've got incomes, you've got manufacturing, you've got goods and products that keep people in jobs. It's a cyclical economy. So I think that it's, as you said, it's one of Vince's favourite sayings. It's a storm in a teacup.
Yeah.
It's a huge one. It's a big political one, but I do think it'll die down. At the end of the day, it's fucking basketball. It's not that serious. I think the commentary will go away, and I think things will get back on track, soonish. I do like that Adam Silver's not sanctioning any players, any GMs, anybody for anything they've said, and he came out today and said he won't. And that's, I guess fundamentally as Americans, they do believe in free speech, and I think he's showing some really good leadership from an organisational point of view.
I agree, Stu. over in China, you can't speak out against the government or anything like that. There's no free speech. And, they asked him to, the government asked him to fire Daryl Morey. He turned around and said no.
Yeah.
It would have been very disappointing if he'd had. So, yeah, grievous stew.
Yeah. Well, look,
can that be as heavy as the podcast gets this year?
Yeah,
basically.
I don't pay too much attention to it because I don't like politics coming into my sports. I love sports because I don't watch the news because it's too depressing. Sports just lets me decompress.
Yeah, no, look, I said that to Stu before we actually recorded, is that, I don't particularly like bringing the politics into our show, but it's just there's so much of it going on, and it's the main focus right now because we are in pre-season, let's be honest. But, it's kind of my angle too on this as well, it's like the government over there, they can try to control things and they can do all this stuff and they can have a ban on NBA, but what they can't do is they can't kill the love of the game, and it's a worldwide game, for a reason, and they won't kill that. And I feel like because you can't kill that, you'll never kill the NBA. So,
and like I always say, Wayne, it's a teacup storm.
It is. It's a league and a teacup, like you say. Well, look, let's move on. I did mention it is Fool's Gold pre-season. Yes, let's all be honest. We've all had a year or two where we've jumped on the hype train of pre-season in anticipation of the new upcoming season. Obviously, this is the time of year where coaches and coaching staff are rounding out the end of their benches. Key players are getting minimal minutes, and everything's going to change once the tip-off for the new season starts. But in saying that, some highlights. Any highlights, guys, that you've...
Well, you know what won't change?
Ooh, what's that?
Lakers winning time, baby.
Oh, God. Oh, boy, here we go.
Lakers, it's winter time again,
What a roster.
Mate, here's the thing. Yesterday at work, we had a wet day timetable, and I didn't have Yarji, so I went to a lovely teacher. He put on ESPN for me in his classroom, big TV. Let's watch the Lakers game. I love what I'm seeing. And if you're not a Lakers fan, stiff, I'm talking about him. I love what I'm seeing. LeBron and AD, there's just that chemistry there. They love playing with each other.
Talk about what you brought up the other day offline.
What I thought I'd never say ever.
Yes. Say it. Say it on air.
Proudly, you peanut. I absolutely love what Dwight Howard is doing at the Lakers.
Who are you and what have you done with the real Jamal? Who are you?
Well, he owes me. He owes me.
And Laker fans.
He owes us.
Well, okay, me and Benson, because let's face it, Benson will own the Lakers one day. I mean, he's fucking earned a lot of money. And I just want to be there riding your coattails, Benson.
If you can go up in the stadium with a couple of perfectly positioned basketballs and recreate some Genie Bus 1978 Playboy photos for me.
Wow, they circulated on the courtside chat.
Just might be in the running, my friend.
Listen, mate, I'll get some work done. And I'll,
Jesus.
No, look, he's doing everything he said he's so far. He's rebounding, he's blocking shots, he's running the floor, he's passing. He looks great. And he's shutting his mouth. He's enjoying himself. He looks like he's enjoying his basketball.
Oh, I was just about to say, you know what? One of the big knocks on is didn't take it serious enough. Just, you look back to some clips and you think, yeah, maybe he wasn't. But now the joy that he's showing is it just looks like he loves playing basketball.
Yep, he really does.
Yeah, because he got the shit scared out of him because he thought he was going to be out of the league.
Pretty much.
Well, they humbled him, right?
So.
I mean, that's the thing we're hoping with Dwight, right? That we're hoping that he's been humbled and he's... I know as soon as I said it, it sounded wrong, but it's true. That's the thing. You want him to take it serious.
So when you say that, the iron sheik just comes into my head.
Look, one of the question marks I had with Dwight and JaVale was, who was going to play, who was going to start, whatever. But, as I mentioned to you, Vince, I watched the, was it the second game against Golden State the other day?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I watched that game and...
I was like the third, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you just play someone else, please? Jesus Christ. It's hard to keep track of what game I like to.
No, it's really fun betting them all the time.
Well, I actually liked when they were on the floor together. I thought they played quite well on the floor together. The spacing was fine. I mean, they cover a lot a lot of space. Like, you know, they're so long, both so athletic. Two different games, but I thought they actually had quite a decent chemistry together.
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll definitely see in spells JaVale playing the 5 and Dwight playing a block 4. I think that's going to happen a lot.
The good thing is JaVale's unselfish as well.
Yeah,
he's a willing passer, and from what I've seen of Dwight, he's given the ball up a lot more this preseason. I mean, we're winning the championship. It's that simple.
Oh boy, here we go.
Mate, we're calling him Quinn Cookin because he's cooking.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a nice
I'm on board. Start measuring. No, I was going to say start measuring up their rings, but we're still talking about Dwight as well. So.
Oh, that's awkward. Well, look,
no, seriously. I'm going to keep the lid on it for the moment, but I'm very confident.
If we are healthy, it's ours to lose.
Yeah, Avery Bradley looks fit. Like, he's dropped pounds. He hit 4 out of 5 threes. He's a great defensive player.
I love Avery
10
Bradley.
Kilos. How the hell did he have 10 kilos to drop? I don't know. But he looks fit as shit.
It was all that Memphis food, mate. All that Memphis food.
Caruso looks more comfortable. Danny Green fits in perfectly with AD and LeBron. Still got Kuzma coming back. Mate, it's looking good.
Well, look, preseason has been pretty rewarding as well if you keep an eye on the rookies. Mm-hmm. We've definitely... I mean, Zion, man. Jesus.
It's crazy. Just have a look at what that guy has done in, the 4 games he's played.
Holy crap. He had, I think the first game he had, 17 points or maybe 13 points or something like that. But then the explosion after that, I mean, you see how big and how quick he moves on the court. Just the explosiveness, man, is just going to... It's super impressive. And then, I can't remember who they played the other day, but, you know, his willingness to shoot the 3 ball, fantastic.
Was it Atlanta or Utah he did that against?
I want to say it was Atlanta, but I can't remember, to be honest. But, like, I was really glad he was taking those shots, you know, like, and not backing down from those open looks. You know, hit or miss, you know, you've got to take them.
Yep, for sure. And I just love his ability to finish against guys who are way taller than him.
Yeah, like Trae Young.
Yeah.
And Rudy Gobert.
That was a height joke. He is so short.
Yeah.
I know. No, but, you know, it's been a long time since, you know, when Shaq used to dunk, like I'd get very aroused.
Because I know what you're about to say, because you know why? Because it legitimately felt like he was going to tear it down every time he did it.
Thank you. Yep. And Zion is the same.
It's like
the power. The power is just, I don't know, man. It's electrifying when he dunks.
It is, right? It's different. It's like everyone used to say, Blake Griffin's so much like Sean Kemp, and to a degree, the same sort of body, the same sort of style. But power-wise, Zion's like Sean Kemp because it's powerful. Like, he wants to tear the fucking rim off the backboard.
Yeah.
I swear, man. I've been saying it for the longest time. To me, he's Larry Johnson. You know, he's LJ. He's just like that powerful. Like, people forget how, like, young Charlotte LJ. Look out! Yeah. And he reminds me.
He was a 6'7" power forward who came in, and I think his second year he was like 22 and 10 or 11, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think he was 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, then he had his back, but you're right. LJ was a beast.
Another rookie, look, my favourite, we all know, Tyler Hero, Miami.
Is that Hero?
I say Hero.
The commentators pronounce it Hero.
Yeah.
What was it wrong?
Okay, sorry, Vince.
You know, I work in education. I should know.
Education?
Double R is always a hero.
I can see why a lot of teams like Miami have been knocking back offers for Tyler. So, I mean...
He looks good, man. He looks good. Although anyone you like, I instantly want to hate, but I can't.
Oh, dude, he's so good, though. He's such a good, like...
No, he is. I like him.
Such a good shooter. And I like the fact he's not just a shooter. You know, like the fact that he's got good footwork and get himself space. I love that kid.
Yeah, he's a dead set. He's just a baller. Like, honestly, he's gonna be able to play 2-3 positions for him. Instant impacts. Obviously, there's only one basketball and there's one Jimmy Buckets. So, you know, they've got Waiters Island coming off the bench. You know, they've got a lot of things to work out. But, man, he is... yeah, he's looking good. I don't think it's fool's gold, but he's the goods.
Yeah, I think
I've got a question. How long till he gets sick of Jimmy Butler?
I mean, probably start of the season, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
It won't take long,
know. You know what? For the most part, like we haven't heard a peep out of Butler.
because it's preseason.
I know,
Yeah,
but we
preseason.
haven't heard a peep out. You know, I think I don't know, man. I just feel like maybe this is because this was Butler's decision to go there, right? Like this is not him being traded somewhere. You know, not that he.
Yeah.
I don't think he didn't want to be the place he got traded, but you know, it's, obviously, it still wasn't his choice. But you know, he's obviously made this choice, so you know, he's sticking by his guns, I suppose, in some essence. But you're right. I mean, what Jimmy Butler are we going to get when the season starts? You know, when the losses start piling up.
Yeah,
I think if
because they're
someone
not
like
as good
him
as he
was-
thinks.
Yeah, but I think if somebody like him was going to go anywhere, I think Spoelstra and Riley are a good management for somebody like him.
Yeah.
Quickly off the topic of rooks, but about Miami, I watched them today, and Bam is really turning himself into not just this like niche player. Like he's a pretty good basketball player, man.
Did you see him in the workouts for Team USA?
Yes.
Man, he was destroying the dudes there. Like
Yeah,
honestly, and like it's a shame he pulled out because he would have been awesome on the world stage. Like
He's just great off the pick and roll. He is very intuitive with his timing on both offense and defense. Yeah, he's got a much higher basketball IQ than I gave him credit for. Like I've been watching him and watching some clips of him and jumping on YouTube because I was like, fuck, have I missed this? And it wasn't there at the start of our season, but man, he's come along. Like he's gonna absolutely have a massive season this year.
and you know what? No Whiteside there, so
Yeah.
here's the minutes, buddy. Here's the minutes. Look, we're going to talk about Killer Carson in Boston. 8 threes in a quarter.
In a quarter.
Stupid. Man, that kid can catch fire. Did you see some of the shots?
Yeah, they were huge. Some of them like 35 foot. They were massive.
Vince, have you seen any of it?
No, I did see that he hit 8 3-pointers. I haven't watched any footage yet. But is he still wearing the 80s style shorts?
Yeah, they're pretty short.
Yeah, good. I like it.
He reminds me...
80s is good.
Well, the only asterisk is that it was against the Cavaliers, so it may as well have been against some folding chairs.
True.
True.
Ouch.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Dana Barros a little bit. I don't know. But his shots...
They'd be like, what?
He reminds me kind of a little bit of a Dana Barros kind of player. I don't know. He's just... Man, his shot seems to be just on, though. I hope he can keep it up over the course of the season because that's a big punch for that Boston squad if they can get like a good outside shooter.
God, it's mechanical. It was automatic. Like it's just they showed some they used that phantom cam that they use.
Yep.
But it slows everything down, and his shot is just mechanical. Like it's if they get him open looks, he's going to be a sniper for them.
Look, just one more to finish up on, just in our Fool's Gold preseason session, if you will. I think the rookie that's probably taken me by surprise the most watching preseason so far has been Kobe White for Chicago.
Gotta be honest, have not kept an eye on Chicago because they just don't interest me.
I'm telling you, I think he's going to be Levine's replacement.
No, they're not getting rid of Levine.
Honestly, I don't
Point
feel
guard,
like...
isn't he?
I don't feel like they're happy with...
Jeez, I'm glad you're not a GM, Wayne.
I'm just saying, I don't think they're happy with Zach.
He's going to be Markkanen's replacement.
I'm telling you. All right. How about this? I bet you Zach's traded by the end of the year.
Oh, you're a dick. Because Kobe White is a point guard. Zach LaVine is a 2-guard.
I'm just saying, I think he's going to copy his minutes, and I don't feel like I like Levine. I love Levine.
He's going to play the point.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Those dudes.
Chris Dunn's there, but it sounds like Kobe White is the guy.
But Dunn's been playing well preseason as well. I don't know why they want to get rid of that kid. I don't get it. I don't get Chicago. I don't get Chicago, man.
You watch Popovich trade for Dunn and just make him into a star.
Oh, dude, would it? Would it ever? But yeah, Kobe White, man's totally surprised me. I mean, I had heard he was a good shooter, and he had some question marks, coming out of the draft. But man, kid can ball. Give him that.
He's a little bit herky-jerky. He's a little bit, what do you call it? It's like, I don't know what you call it. But
yeah,
it's just,
I know what you mean. It's like when you're an A division player and you decide you're going to help a mate out and play a C division, and you got to guard some guy who doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, but you're too afraid to guard him because he's so herky-jerky and you don't want to get injured. And
Yeah, there's something about it. Like it's fast and it's
erratic.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's erratic.
He's got too much hair.
Yeah, these guys got to cut their hair, man.
Yeah, he's got too much hair.
That's when you know they're serious. I keep saying it. In any sport, once they cut their hair and get over the whole dreadlock, whatever they're doing, they play better.
Alfred Pate.
There you go.
Oh, man, yeah. Where is he now? Is he still in with the Pelicans?
I think so.
No, he's...
Oh, no.
Yeah, gee.
Don't worry, guys.
New
We'll get up to speed before
New
the
York.
season starts. Don't worry. We got
New
this.
York.
We got
New
this.
York, yeah.
Is it?
Shut up.
What a good time to jump into our competition, of course, guys. At the top of the show, you heard us. The 2K20 competition, what we need you to do is, and get creative as possible with this one. On the Facebook page, we want you to jump down and look, hey, if you are a fan of the Courtside Facebook page and you are a subscriber to the podcast, I mean, I'm not saying that that's a factor, but it certainly won't hurt your chances. What we want you to do, guys, is tell us, in your words, who's your favourite Courtside host? And why?
It's not you. If you get more votes than me, I'll quit.
Yeah, this could really hurt some feelings.
Because I get paid way too much. So I won't quit. But,
So get
I'll be very
creative
good.
as possible, guys. I think we'll draw it either through the week or maybe next show. We'll announce it on the Facebook page, the winner, and we'll get you a fresh copy straight from 2K themselves, 2K20 out to your doorstep.
so what are they going to do? Be creative.
You know, they can get as creative as they want. We just want to hear who their favourite host is.
And if you do hang shit on Wayne, that goes a long way.
You
Hey,
penner.
but hang on a second. Who's gonna judge this? Because is it going to be the comment that gets the most likes from the Courtside faithful? Because we can't really judge it. Because I know who I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose whoever selects me.
That was
in the
my
most creative way.
that was
You're
my
gonna
plan.
Choose, hey,
That was my plan.
you were going to choose me.
No, whoever chose me.
Well, no one's gonna, mate. No one's
No,
gonna.
we're going to get a neutral. We're going to get a neutral judge.
A neutral
Okay.
judge. We'll find one.
Okay, I feel like you're pitting us against each other, Wayne. This is like some
Well, you know what?
sort of a ploy to tear us apart.
Why don't we get him to
No,
seal the
it's
deal? Since he organised everything, why don't we get him to seal the deal? We'll get Brenton to decide.
Sure.
I mean,
Well,
you've got no
You're
chance.
out, mate. After that story at the start, bro.
Hey, our good close personal friend Adrian already sent me my copy, so I'm good.
Yeah, rightio. I got the
Down
done.
2K.
I
Down
got the done
2K.
copy.
How did we talk it? Sorry, just let's look. The competition. Everybody vote for Stu. We already know that vote for Stu works. It's a thing. But I'll tell you what. How did we breeze on the Celtics and not talk about Tucker?
Oh, Tarkov. Man.
We're all rooting for him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but listen, I could bake a cake and do a spit roast while he's gathering the ball to dunk it.
Oh,
he
man.
goes in slow motion. For God's sake, speed up a bit, son.
You know what it is, Stu? Like, you remember how... you remember the draft, how I said, you know, I didn't feel like he would last because they're getting up and down the court and stuff like that, like in this league and whatnot. And I kind of feel like we're fans of him the same way we're fans of Boban.
No, I'm not a fan of Boban.
What?
Oh,
I've never said I'm a fan of Boban.
Why? What's wrong with you?
I don't know, Wayne, because he sucks.
What? Oh, Stu, come on.
What does he do? What does he do?
His efficiency ranking is through the roof.
Yeah.
Dude,
10 minutes a game is the best 10 minutes you're getting out of anyone.
if you're 8'3", you'd be very efficient too near the basket, okay?
That's not the like.
I love him, man. He defends, he rebounds, he blocks. He can actually shoot.
He dances, he's funny.
He's no
Jesus.
George Muresan. He is no George Muresan.
Better. He's better.
No, he's not.
He's
Don't
better.
Ever
In your face,
say that.
grub.
George Muresan.
Well, let's move from one drama to another drama, shall we? There's definitely been a lot of contract conflicts, if you will. going on. Oh, you know it. You know who I'm going to talk about, Vince.
Give me a spell. Give me a spell. I'm close to just unleashing on this guy.
Buddy Hield.
Come on, buddy, relax.
Buddy. It'll be all right, buddy.
Yeah.
What's your problem with Buddy? He wants
intervention?
He wants money. They're telling him he's their guy. They've fallen short a couple, 10, 20 mil. And he's just come out and said that, hey, that's okay. But if you don't match it, we'll set up shop somewhere else. I don't have a problem with this. I feel like this happens every year.
Is he restricted at the end of this season?
I don't think so. Because this
would
would be coming off his... Sorry.
Here's the thing that I have a problem with Mr. Hield. It took him 2 years to find his feet in the NBA. He broke out last year. Maybe if you do it for more than one season, you might get your 100 mil. But they're offering him $80 million.
Yeah, he wants 110.
I mean, it's $80 million.
He'll get that somewhere else, Vince.
That's impressive.
He'll get that. I feel like he's been good for 2 years now.
You pay him 110, you're overpaying him. That's overs.
Mate,
it's $80 million. Why doesn't he go, you're not happy with it, mate? Go see if Coles will let you work the registers for $80 million.
Let me hit you with some facts, Vince. Let me hit you with some facts. This kid's been good for the past 2 years. Last season, you're right, he did have a breakout season, and his shooting percentage was up, hanging with Steph Curry. So that's pretty goddamn good. You're all pissy because he's going to get your man Vladi Divac.
Okay, it's not Divac.
Divac!
Okay.
It's like your hero, but Divac.
Oh,
Benson,
I don't know what to say.
Can you save the show, please, Benson?
I don't know what to say.
You're the only professional here. You've had sunrise experience. You've been on the block. Save the show,
Mate, Vladi Divac.
Yeah. If he keeps going,
I'm just saying it's G Vince up.
No, it's not. It's got nothing to do with the great man Vladi.
It does. You know it does.
It has nothing.
Sure. All right. Well, look, he'll get that money elsewhere.
It's $80 million.
I think they'll.
He's not worth 110. He's not worth 110.
They will pay him. You watch.
You know what? I hope they stand their ground and send a message and go, it's $80 million, mate. Take it or leave it. Have a sook. Go somewhere else.
Come to Memphis.
They've got enough talent.
Come to Memphis, buddy. We'll take you.
I'll tell you what, that new collective bargaining agreement is crazy. For it to make $80 million not sound like a lot of money in the current economy of NBA contracts, that's crazy.
It's ridiculous, right? Like, 80 mil is huge. I mean, that was probably like KG money back in the day, right? Like, it's nuts.
Dude, it's $80 million. And
how many seasons was it?
4, was it?
Something like that. But you ain't going to see $80 million in 20 lifetimes, man. Just take the freaking coin.
Yeah. He'll get paid more, though, if he does go somewhere else. If they don't match it.
Overs.
Oh, yeah. Someone will go overs on it, for sure.
Yeah.
He just starting to sound like a bit of a diva. Me, I. No.
I disagree. I politely disagree.
That's fine.
Politely.
What about Bradley Beal?
Jaylen Brown, though.
No.
Oh, yeah. So, do you feel like writing's on the wall for Jaylen Brown in Boston?
I hope.
Oh, no. Ainge will keep him.
I think Ainge will keep him too, but I'd love to see him on his own team.
I would love to see him in Memphis, in the Memphis Blue.
Of course you would.
I've been saying it for the longest time. Can we...
Benson, imagine if that was a Lakers fan saying that. Imagine the uproar.
Yeah, but I don't say it every show, Vince, which is the difference, right? I don't say it every
You just said it twice in the space of 2 minutes.
show.
Yeah, but you know when we say it, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm talking into existence, goddammit.
Hey, God.
We got all that...
Would look good in DeMarcus Cousins.
Dude.
Would look good. Dwight Howard.
Listen, it's been a long time, and we've got all that Chandler Parsons money to spend now, so I'd rather give the Jaylen Brown shadow than back to Parsons. Thank you. So you think
I'll tell you. We'll also give you a bit of cap relief when we take Iguodala off you as well.
who you give me?
Yeah.
Who you trading
Nothing.
for?
Nothing.
Nice.
You're gonna wait him.
Tell me dreaming. Nah, we'll wait. We'll trade him. You watch.
We'll give you Rondo.
We're not Rondo.
We don't need Rondo.
We don't need Rondo.
Yes, you do. As a mentor to Yar Morant.
No, you want Rondo. Rondo's good for that squad.
We'll keep Rondo for playoff run.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
Well,
We've
look.
got Caruso. Yeah.
You just called Ja Morant.
Sure did.
Good God.
I put the old Spanish on it.
So it was because Jaren Jackson Jr. took all the J's.
Oh. Well, shall we get into the final segments of the show, boys?
Why not?
Let's do it.
Jersey Worthy! Who's your Jersey Worthy of the week?
We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're scum!
You know what? I'm going to give it to the Melbourne United Australian basketball club.
Hey, good call.
Man, they played really well.
They did. If they had Casey Prather, probably would have given... who was it? Oh, I've misplaced my notes. Who'd they play and they only lost by like 14 or something?
10 or 14 or something. Yeah.
Clippers. But anyway, beside the point, Melbourne United put up 2 very good performances against NBA teams. So they get my Jersey Worthy. Oh, and also Thomas Abercrombie for dunking on your man, Jaren Jackson Jr.
That was huge.
Give it to him. He cocked it.
That was huge. He wasn't ready for that. He'd want none of that.
Humbled. I'd trade Jaren Jackson after that.
Mate, you should have seen the Memphis boards, though. The Memphis boards were killing him. They were like, man, that was a nasty dunk, but you can't let someone named Abercrombie dunk on you. Like,
That's a fair point.
I was like, that's fair. Yeah, I'll take that. Stu, Jersey Worthy?
I'm going to give it to Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, good pick.
I swear, you want to have his baby. I swear to God.
He does.
I just telling you, man, we're going to look back in about 4 years' time, and if we could redo that draft, he's coming out number 1.
Jeez.
He's looking pretty good.
I'm going to go sneaky left field and say it'll be a 2-horse race for Rookie of the Year, and he's in it.
Oh, really?
If they can give him minutes, yep.
Wow.
It's going to be the Blake Griffin, Ben Simmons Memorial Second Year Rookie of the Year Player of the Year award. Yeah.
Wow. Big call. I like it.
It's based on nothing but intuition. I just like it. He might come out and average 2 and 1. I don't know.
Well, my Jersey Worthy, I'm going with the Markel Fultz, who's looked pretty good for Orlando, and I hope he keeps it up. Yeah, I mean, the 2 games I watched him looked excellent. I mean, there's still this slight kink in the shot, but it looks a lot better, and I just hope we get a full year of him running the point.
Yeah, me too. I'm rooting for the guy.
I think he's had a bad... I don't even understand. I don't even understand what went on in Philly. Like, honestly, like, looking back on it now, I'm like, was the problem he was the number 1 pick? Do you know what I mean? Like, if he was...
It's never really come out.
I mean, I'm still waiting for that story, Vince, you know? It's like, was it a psych thing that he, developed this hick? Like, did he psych himself out and now he's trying to shake it? Or, like, was it the shoulder injury that caused it? I mean, obviously they were pushing him and the kid wasn't ready, but...
It's totally weird, but, like, if he does correct it and he does come back and we look back and we think, fuck, what would have happened if they'd have kept him?
Yeah.
It might be, honestly, that might be one of the biggest, like, what-if stories. Like, if he actually does shake this, because we all know what he did in college. Like, he was an absolute weapon, consensus number 1. I know Jason Tatum's a great player, and everyone's like, he should have gone first, and Danny Ainge balked and everything. That's all hindsight bullshit. There is no way on any board, in any way you skin it, that Markel Fultz wasn't going number 1 in that draft. And if he gets back to that form, it's going to look fucking dumb of the Sixers to have not kept him with that stockpile of number 1s that they had.
The thing is, too, like, the thing I like about that whole situation is that he was there last year, or at least for the tail end of it. That team, he didn't play. They set him up for the rest of the year, which was a smart move. Let him heal.
Yep.
But that team was good enough to make the playoff. You know, they went up against the champs. They stole the game off the Raptors, in fact, in Toronto. Yep. Like, you only hope as that franchise they're getting back on the right track. You know, you hope that talent that they have on that squad is now developed even further. You add a piece like Fultz, and it could be a nice turnaround for Orlando this year if luck rolls their way a bit.
Great young roster. Dead set, like a really good young roster.
Well, when you have winners, guys, you have losers. The Brain Fart Award. Who gets your brain fart?
I nearly gave it to you.
How dare you?
Because when you sent me the message saying have this and that ready, I'm like, dude, it's preseason. No, we're talking about preseason, not regular season, preseason. But I thought, no, I'll give it to Buddy Hield, just because he doesn't think $80 million.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
He just doesn't think $80 million is a lot of money. So that's just
Well, that makes two of us.
Yeah, it's. So is it $80 million to play basketball? Sure, why not?
Stu, you got a brain fart?
It's a collective. It's just the Clippers fans. Shut the fuck up. It's
Just and you know what? To just add to that, further proof that the Lakers run LA. How badly was Kawhi booed at the baseball?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's our town. Our town.
Yeah, winning fixes a lot of things, Vince. Winning fixes a lot of things.
Yeah, and we'll be winning a lot.
Look, my brain fart is one which I didn't want to award to this guy, but I just feel like the joke's on him. The Joker, Nikola. You seen how out of shape he is?
Well,
Dude, how many times did I say it last year? If he actually stumbled across the Denver Nuggets gym, it'd be well worth it.
All right, so let me put it like this, Vince, right? Like, look how well they played last year, right? Like, they should have beaten that Portland squad. Like, that Portland squad was running out of gas, and it was just inexperience that cost them that series. It cost them 2 games, which cost them the series, and you know, Portland did enough to get him through. Now, you think that would be motivation for him for this offseason to not sit at barbecues eating fucking pork and fucking pie. But that is exactly what it looks like he's fucking done all offseason, man. He's out of shape and Denver are out of contention. It's going to be a shame, man. What's he trying to do? Is he trying to play himself into shape now?
It is pretty crazy. He's like the local comp big man. Like, you turn up and it's like, fuck, he's just out of shape. But he's 7 foot tall, so he's going to give it to us. But you would think, like you just said, they came so close. Like, legitimately, if they come out of the West, they win the championship. I totally believe that. Yeah. And they were within sniffing distance of it. You don't go into the gym. You don't go into the lab. You don't bust out, you know, a bicep, maybe just one, not even 2, just one. Like, I don't get it.
Well, I tell you what, from now until All-Star weekend, until he finally hits a game shape, he is going to look like a sore thumb because everyone else around him have put in work this preseason. If I was a Denver fan, I'd be pissed, man. I'd be like, what is this guy doing? Like, they should be...
Like, do you reckon he gets off the plane from Serbia or something and they're at the airport waiting for him and he comes, the door opens, they just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. There's two of them. There's 2 of them. Oh, wait. No, it's not a shadow. He's doubled in size. Like, honestly, he's got man tits. He's got man tits. He's got motherfucking man tits and he's playing in the NBA.
Oh, my God.
I'm disgusted.
To be fair, his off-season sounds like one of my off-seasons.
Hey, no kid's sticking his poster up on the wall at home. No kid wants a grown man with man tits on their wall.
I don't think many parents want that poster up on the wall either.
Yeah.
Can you stop saying man tits, please?
I know, but that's what he's got. I'm gonna post photos later on the Facebook.
We're gonna get a different.
Yeah, please, because I haven't seen him.
You haven't seen him? Oh,
no, I haven't seen him.
Dude.
You're gonna have to.
All right, I'll post something on your Facebook page.
Thanks, mate.
Well, gentlemen, 350 in the bag. Wow.
Has it been emotional?
Not bad.
Good size.
Good size. Not bad. Of course, we want to thank you guys, the fans, for tuning in every week. Really looking forward to the season ahead. Thank you again for all you long-time listeners, all the new listeners. Really appreciate the support. Episode 350. It's been emotional.
It's winning time in LA. Winning time.
I'll tell you what. listeners, we want to grow this thing, right? If you're a listener, tag somebody on Facebook, add them to the page, add them to the banter, tag him in the comment, tag him in the thread. Let's build this thing. Let's make this 1920 season not only a great one for product on the court, but for I think for the Courtside podcast. I think this is the year that we kick it up a notch, lads. What do you think?
Absolutely, and if you do, Stu will send you $100.
In the mail.
That's exactly right. That'll actually happen.
Yeah.
Monopoly
Just
money.
learn.
Monopoly money.
No, Benson's. What am I trying to say?
Too emotional as well.
Yeah, I'm too emotional. It's been emotional.
It has been emotional.
Winter time gets me emotional.
I mean, we're all just a bit shook because we can't believe that Andrew Wiggins left out of the top 100 players on ESPN. So,
Would you just leave Andrew Wiggins alone, please?
I mean, I'm in shock. I'm sure you are in shock too because he's in shock. So, I mean, it's unthinkable, really.
I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah.
Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out!
Ball. Jamano going to jump out of nowhere and say, "I'm here."
Where is Jinx? Where bloody hell is he?
I'm fucking here, you flog.
Welcome back. Oh boy. Sorry, let's finish off my coffee. How you doing? How you doing, Vince?
He's not. That was me.
Was it really? No
Yeah,
way. Was that you?
Yes. That was
Holy
me.
shit. Oh, I'm keeping that in the show. You threw your voice so well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. That trumps almost any intro I could ever do for this episode. Wow. 350 shows and